to first. Hey, we got it. Yeah. So we're being recorded. So this is going to be on ABC. I'm just kidding. Um, so the first thing we're going to cover is CalFresh expedited service and then CalWORKs Immediate need. The CalFresh expedited service is section Welfare Institutions section 18917, 18912, that provides that expedited service has to be issued within 3 days. The federal law provides for 7 days, but in the previous century, Patty Whitney McCall, who worked for CRLA, passed the bill.
They're not, and that's all also the same.
Okay, Rex,
Yes, please.
you need to
I
be muted.
think, yesterday, I forgot to send you the picture. Oh, you took the back.
Can you
Yeah,
mute her,
I'm so happy.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so a bill was passed to say that they have to issue expedited service within 3 days, and they have to make monthly reports, and they've done that. The regulations you could find for expedited service, it's in the state regulations, in the on the internet, the 63301.5 it says. So who's eligible for expedited service? Any person, any household. Household is one or more persons who regularly purchase and prepare their food separately, or purchase or prepare their food separately. So you may be able to purchase together, but as long as you prepare separately, you're still a separate household. So the household has to have less than $150 in gross income, has to have less than $100 in the bank, or their gross income is less than their rent and utilities. And the utilities are the standard utility deduction plus the rent. And that's in regulation 63-301.51. So those are the people who are eligible for expedited service. How does the county identify that the person is in expedited service? They're supposed to look at the SARS 1 or the DFA 285A1. The SARS 1 is the application for CalWORKs, CalFresh, Medi-Cal, and the DFA 285 is the application for food stamps only. The county welfare department is allegedly supposed to orally inform applicants about the ES expedited service, which I don't think it ever happens. And the county welfare department, by regulation, is supposed to help them complete their application. These are laws on the books that counties rarely comply with. Often in order to get expedited service, the only verification that you have to provide is the identity of the head of the household. And you could do that by seeing their driver's license, or you could, in fact, there's this thing called J-Verify. And J-Verify basically means that they could go into the system, and if you have a social security number, they could J-Verify your identity that way. Or they could do looking at other evidence or do collateral contact. So if you don't have anything, they could call your uncle or somebody who could say, yeah, that's really Jim. All of the other verification that is needed is you have to submit that within 30 days. They cannot delay or deny you expedited service because you don't have rent verification, income verification, and stuff like that. And that's in the regulation 63-301-541. And you also have to have a social security number. or you've applied for a Social Security number. So that's the other one. Next slide. By law, the person is supposed to have their food stamps in the card, on the card within 3 calendar days from the date of application. That means if you apply on Monday, by Wednesday, you should be going to the grocery store, using your food stamps, or maybe having your card skimmed. You never know. But the skimming of the card doesn't happen right away because, first of all, they have to make a picture of the thing and then skim it later. For example, if a person applies on Thursday, then the food stamps have to be available by Monday. And if Monday is a holiday, then it has to be available on Friday or Saturday. And we have the site of the regulation there. If the county does not identify the household for expedited service, and later you basically go back and say, hey, you guys screwed up, I'm ES, or maybe you apply on the 1st of the month. At that time, you're not eligible for expedited service, but on the 10th you are, then you could go back in there and say, I want expedited service, and they have to process that within 3 days. At least that's what the law says. When a person applies on the 15th of the month, the county welfare department must issue expedited service for the 15 days plus the next month. So you get month and a half if you apply after the 15th. If you apply before the 15th, then you only get it prorated for the month of application. When verification has been delayed, the second month's benefits will be issued within 5 working days once the county gets the verification. I know that's a barrier, but at least that's what the law says. What happens if the household needs expedited service after the date of application? If the county finds out later that the household needs expedited service, then the county is supposed to do that. And I mean, the year's time requirements start from the date that the household tells the county that they need expedited service. These are basic laws that are out there, and it's rarely they don't practice it that much, but you should know about it and insist on it. How to verify identity. I already covered this. You could look at the driver's license, look at other documentary evidence, and the county welfare department should pursue collateral contact to verify identity, because that's the only verification that you are required to perform in order to get expedited service. And I think I already covered this, yeah. Okay, let's skip to the next one. What if you miss your ES appointment? If you miss your expedited service appointment, then they have to reschedule it within the next 3 days. That's a major problem, but that's the law, that's the regulation. As to, and these are issues that need advocacy on. So if they don't schedule within 3 days, you should contact the county welfare director, the board of supervisors, or whoever to find out why in the hell they're not doing that. What happens if expedited service is not issued? You could ask for an expedited hearing. You could go on ACMS, the State Department of Social Services has an ACMS system where you could go online and request a hearing, and you could ask for expedited hearing. And I've got the link in there for the expedited hearing form, that is a fillable form that you could complete and send in there. And then there's a copy also of the all county letter that talks about expedited hearing. Expedited hearings are supposed to be scheduled within 7 days, and a decision has to be issued within 10 days. And it's always a good thing to ask for expedited hearing, because then the county, what happens, the county's hearing specialist gets the case, and then they call up the district office or the worker to say, hey, what the hell's happening? And why don't you get this done? Because I don't want to do a hearing. So next thing you know, the person gets their food stamps and you look like a hero. And all you did is request an expedited hearing. And then you could basically then you could drop the hearing and everybody's happy. That's the expedited service presentation. Does anybody have any questions? Too many. Okay, then I will hand it over to Andreas, who's going to do the CalWORKs Immediate Need. Did I go too fast? I guess I did.
That's okay. We'll have another session for question and answers. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andres Joaquin Flores. I'm a litigation attorney at CCWRO, and I'm going to talk about CalWORKs Immediate Need. The law on this area of benefits is Welfare and Institutions Code section 11266. And the guiding regulations can also be found on the California the Department of Social Services website, and the citations are MPP 40-129 et seg. So it's a section of the regulations. So who is eligible for CalWORKs Immediate Need? Remember, CalWORKs is a program that is available to families. It is a family who is apparently eligible, and that is really broadly defined under the regulation, but it is someone who, based on the statement of facts and information provided on the form, that person would appear to be eligible for immediate need.
Or there's nothing on that application that indicates that they are ineligible.
Correct. Thank you, Kevin. So in order to be eligible for immediate need, the applicant must be really in an emergency situation. And the regulations define and really lay out what are emergency regulations. So that is when when a family or an individual, the individual in the family and the family have less than $100 in resources. There is a lack of housing, and that is additionally specified in the regulation. They're facing a pending eviction. They have are facing a lack of food for 3 days. They have received a utility shutoff notice. There's a need for money for transportation, clothing, and any other emergencies of similar importance to the family's immediate health and safety. So this is how do applicants indicate immediate need? So the SAW 2 and CW4 lay out questions that on a form in which an individual who is applying for immediate need can complete in order to establish their eligibility for the immediate need, and it lays out also, as you can see, the specific areas within the regulation that which have been recognized as emergency situations. So do you have a notice of eviction or a notice to pay or quit? If you select yes, then you would be eligible. And that goes on for any of these categories. If you select multiple categories, I will go to that and how that affects your application. So who is allowed to complete the CalWORKs immediate need questions? The regulations state that the county shall not complete the immediate needs section of the application or the immediate need payment request, except at the applicant specific request. So if you do need assistance, reach out to the county right away. When does the county have to act on an immediate need case? The regulations provide that the regulations require that the county provide an immediate need interview. And the regulations state that if the applicant indicates on the initial application or the immediate need payment request form that the family has an emergency situation as previously defined and we've discussed, the county shall conduct an immediate need interview. This is important. No later than the next working day following the date the immediate need request is received. How long does the county have to act on the immediate need request? The regulations say that the action on the immediate need payment request is also should be done expeditiously. So as you can see, a determination of eligibility for an immediate need payment shall be made no later than the next working day following the receipt of the request. What kind of verification? I'm sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
That means that they have to issue the payment on the date of application, but no later than the next working day. Just because they determine that you're eligible, that doesn't mean that you could go and buy diapers for the kid. You need the money to buy diapers.
Thank you, Kevin. Precisely. So the person who is eligible will receive the money at the latest the following working day. What kind of verification can the county ask for? So the regulations provide that eligibility for an immediate need payment can be made or can be determined when an applicant meets all of the following conditions. Is if the person is apparently eligible for AFDC, aid to families with dependent children, and then an alien applicant who does not provide verification of his or her eligible alien status is not eligible for an immediate need payment and would be denied under this first criteria. Referral to community resources. The county has to issue up to $200 if the applicant indicates more than one type of need on the emergency need form. The county has to verify the resource so the county can make a resource referral, and the county has to verify that the resource referral will actually meet the needs of the applicant. And a 211 referral does not meet this requirement. The county has to make sure that the applicant can get to the location of community services as well.
And that's the section is MPP 40. We left out a 0.
Oh, yes. My apologies.
And then hold on. And basically what this is about is that if a person says that they don't have food, then they refer them to the food closet, to the food bank, and but the person says I don't have food and I also need diapers, then they cannot by referring them to the food bank, they don't have to issue immediate need because they say, oh, the food bank is going to give you food, so you see you don't need the $200. But if you need diapers and food or transportation and food, then they can't do that.
So how much is the immediate need payment? The immediate need payment is $200 or whatever the assistance unit is entitled to, whatever, let me restart. The immediate need payment is $200 or whatever the assistance unit the applicant is entitled to, whichever is less, and that's provided under the regulation. So here's an example. A family of 3 applies on November 28th, 2023. They are entitled to 3 days of aid for November, and the payment will be the grant for a family of 3 will be prorated by 3 days. $15 days to determine CalWORKs eligibility. So after someone has completed the AFDC application, an immediate need payment and an immediate payment has been issued, the county will verify the applicant's eligibility for aid within 15 working days from the date of the payment request. Again, not the date that the payment is made or the interview, but the request. The 15 working day time frame shall apply to an immediate need request that was denied because the need was met by another public program or a private resource. And the 15-day working time frame shall apply to an immediate need payment request that was denied because the emergency situation was a lack of housing and the need was met by the issuance of a homeless assistance payment. So those are different reasons for why the 15-day working time frame would come in.
The beauty of this is that for CalWORKs, AFDC is CalWORKs. This is a copy of the regulation that exists, but it's CalWORKs. They have 45 days to determine eligibility for CalWORKs. But if you're in immediate need and you get your immediate need, then they only have 15 days rather than 45 days.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you giving that additional information. Okay. So request for immediate need after applying for CalWORKs. An applicant can request immediate need anytime during the eligibility determination period, which Kevin referred to when we were at using the last slide. Now, there is a CW4 form that an applicant can use to request an immediate need. And once the applicant files the form, all timelines will take effect. And I believe we have a link to the form.
Yeah.
Which is here.
And if you don't find a link over there, you just go to google.com and type in
CW4
space CW4 form, and it will come up.
Yes.
At least that's what I do.
And what if the county broke the immediate need or CalFresh expedited service law? Okay, so you would contact the county welfare office. You can file for a state hearing using ACMS to do so. Kevin mentioned earlier, you can file a request for an expedited hearing. And hearings will be scheduled generally within 10 days and decisions issued in 5. Kevin, anything else?
I guess, yeah, you could also call up the County Board of Supervisors. In fact, I've gone to meetings. The County Board of Supervisors meets every Tuesday. And at the beginning of the meeting, there are public comment time. So I've taken my clients who were expedite immediate need and gone to the Board of Supervisors, and they said that they didn't get their immediate need. Within an hour, they got all the money.
Yeah, so that's definitely one approach, another example. And I would say that if you, as advocates, see a count or just a pattern or a county that is has a pattern of not enforcing of breaking the immediate need or CalFresh expedited services laws, to reach out to us and let us know, and we would work with you to help move along that process.
Yeah, I would urge people, I mean, I've done a couple of hearings, and just go to a hearing, and if the person hasn't been granted immediate need, I would ask for a hearing, and then basically try to get them immediate need. And then at the hearing, the judge will say, well, what are you here for? We already gave him the money. And my response has always been, well, this could happen again. If it's we want to order saying next time this shit happens, make sure that they get their money within the time frames allowed by state law. And if we get a few decisions, maybe someday we could go to court and get a court order saying that every day that they delay, they have to pay $100 penalty to the family, just like the rule is for state hearing delays. If a state hearing decision is delayed, some people get $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because of the delay.
All right. Well, that concludes my portion of the PowerPoint and our PowerPoints. So I will stop sharing my screen, and I will open it up to questions. I will see if there are any in the chat.
And everyone can either put questions in the chat or just unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, so one question that I did receive is, will the participants receive a copy of the slide or the recorded video? I don't know which slide that was referring to, but we will provide any information from the today's presentation to all of the U.S. participants.
Yeah, would be. Tommy, did you send out? Have you?
Yeah, all the participants will get. You'll get an after meeting email with a way to access the recording and a copy of the slide, a copy of the actual deck.
But you will not get the lottery numbers for Saturday. Sorry.
No.
Does anybody have any other questions? Or do you...
Hey, Kevin. This is Marcella. I have a question on some of the rules and regulations for CalWORKs. We recently started supported clients at MCHA, so we have come across a few issues, I think mainly related to the child support documentation and the child support rules and CalWORKs reporting like a father to child support services, but the father is in the home. So not sure why they did that. But we're having a hard time finding sort of like the info on that. Is there anywhere that you would recommend us to look for it? Do you have it available that you can help us with info?
If the father is in the home, then he's also applying for welfare with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a two-parent family.
Mm-hmm.
There's no child support obligation. The only thing that may be an issue is paternity. So maybe that's why they're harassing him. But to me, I'm not sure I mean, if both parents are in the home, they're both applying, there's no child support obligation. So,
And what about when they're sanctioning parents for not completing the forms for child support?
I asked for
okay.
Remember, if they have the audacity to send you a notice sanctioning it, on the back of the notice it says, if you request a hearing before the end of the month, your benefits continues. And then you can figure out why. I mean, they fill out the forms to the best of their ability, they send it to them, and then I would ask for a hearing. I mean,
yeah. Well, we get parents who who are afraid of completing the forms. They don't want to provide any kind of information. And so we're trying to figure out if they would not be receiving benefits because they are not complying with that form, but they should still be issuing benefits to the children. So
Yeah, what I tell
to try to
people like
avoid the
that-
delay, I guess I'm trying to.
Yeah, what I tell folks like that is that the government knows more about you than you know about yourself. So if you think that they don't know who he is, they know exactly who he is. They know very well. They're just trying to mess with you and trying to get you to not fill out this form so they can say ha ha ha. And they know more about you. I mean, the government knows more about you than you know about yourself. And
So would you, because we do case complaints directly to DPSS.
right.
So if they're holding, like if they're delaying a case and processing an application and getting benefits to the family due to this documentation, can we like cite something so that we can request that they issue benefits to the children if they're for whatever reason not going to issue to the parent who,
Doesn't,
you know, that's what I'm trying to.
yeah. I think if you don't cooperate with the child support system, they basically, yeah, I mean, you know what? Call me up about that, okay?
Okay, I will. Yeah, I know I have a few questions. I don't want to suck up your time with that, but
If you have if you have a case, let me know.
yeah,
Work with
okay,
you on it, yeah.
okay. Thank you.
But I'm glad that you guys are doing CalWORKs.
We're doing very limited, but you know, it's kind of hard to find the MPPs and things like that on very specific issues.
Well, just call
Some
me.
of the e-policy we can find, but I don't think everything's there. But for the more common issues, we can just, you know, we can try to troubleshoot and send case complaints in. Normally that does the trick, but if we had something in writing that we could use to sort of say, hey, look at this, you know, makes it a lot easier. And we do CalFresh, so I feel like with CalFresh we're good. You know, there's info all over. We use the LSNC website, things like that.
Well, you have my right?
But
Marcelo, you have my number, right?
I don't think I have your cell, but I'll double check. We have emails back and forth, but I'll double check.
Yeah, 916-712-0071. And if anybody wants to call me, this is the number to call. I always have it with me. So call me about anything like that. Just call me up and within 5 minutes, I'll give you an answer.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, don't tell anyone. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay. We still have people on. Anybody else has any questions or? Okay, with David, are you going to send out an evaluation form and stuff like that?
Yeah, the little survey pops up at the end. Yeah.
Okay, you want to pop up the survey?
Yes. Yeah. Once the meeting ends, a survey will pop up on everyone's screen.
Okay, yeah. So if you could be so kind to give us fill out the survey, and thank you for coming. Have a nice weekend.
Take care, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.